Okay, so welcome in Rugby League fans. Here we are on ARL TV. We've got Aaron Nootai joining us from the Richmond Bulldogs. Good to see you, Aaron. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah. Awesome.
Good. And interrupting his lunchtime special, David Barner back from the Tigers. Dave, good to see you, mate. How's the body?
Yeah, no, we're feeling pretty good. Couple weeks off always does us old vets a little bit of a bonus, but yeah, no, feeling good.
Awesome. Well, look, one of the things we'll get to before we talk about the Richmond North Cape clash, which was held at home for the North Cape Tigers, is so far, boys, for the 2020 SAS Fox season. And I'll go to Aaron first, mate. What's been the toughest match for you guys in 2020? Who's been the toughest team so far?
The toughest team. Well, I didn't play the North Coast game, but when I watched it, and I thought that was a good game. Yeah, I thought they'd be the toughest. Yeah.
Okay. Dave, for you, mate, I know you probably haven't been across all of the games, but you've seen most and got feedback and pretty tight with your core group. What's been the toughest game for the North Cape Tigers?
Oh, it definitely has to be the Mount Albert game a couple of weeks back. It was a pretty emotional game with being the Zay Wallace Cup and having the Root Rooster on the line too, and that was sort of, I suppose, our first little taste of what the semi-finals will look like. So that was definitely a grinding affair and probably the toughest matchup we've had so far.
Cool. Back to you, Aaron. Who's been the surprise team of 2020? Who's been the team that sort of caught you on the hop?
I'll probably go with Otahu. Yeah, Otahu. We played them in the first round. And yeah, I think they'd be a surprise team for me, the Otahu.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Dave? Who's been the surprise team for you during 2020?
I don't want to blow Az's trumpet, but Richmond have been pretty good.
Yep.
I know a lot of those young fellas who are coming through the 20s got put in that team, like Temple and Sione and that, and they've really shown that they're up to playing Fox football and up against playing men. So they've been quite a surprise package for me.
Yeah, you're not the first to mention that, mate. We've, I've done a couple of the interviews now with other teams, and Richmond have certainly been given the nod. I think from Otahu's perspective, during lockdown version one, we sort of indicated that, Otahu may have had expectations coming into the 2020 season in regards to how their pre-season had gone. In regards to individual players, Dave, I'll go with you first, mate. Who's been the best player in the first 8 rounds of SAS footy in your mind?
I obviously haven't seen too much of the other teams. Just been focused on what we've been doing internally. But I'd have to say, in that regard, it's been Machu Stone Dunn. He carries so well at the back for us, and gets us on the front foot, and he's got some nice little deft touches that when he comes into the attacking sort of side of the field. So he's been a real star in my eyes. Yeah.
Anyone from an opposition that stands out?
I'm not sure of his name, but the fullback for Mount Albert. He's quite an elusive. He's quite an elusive character. We tested him a couple of times with the high ball, and but he didn't shy away from it. And obviously, Acker's there running their team around the park. He's always a top performer for them and the comp.
Well, surprising to note, Acker's actually picked Machu. He thought he carved them up on that day and did really, really well. Aaron, same question to you, mate. In regards to an opposition player that sort of stands out during the 2020 season, who's been a threat for the Bulldogs?
I'm the same as Davey. I haven't really looked at the opposition, but all I can say for our team anyway, standout players is probably got to be our hook people. He's after watching the Glenora game, stopping Sawape a few times close to the line. That one-on-one, that's pretty tough. like usually he's try time there, and he's stopped them a few times there, which I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, fair call.
Yeah, and our fullback Situ, he's pretty X factor too. So I've enjoyed watching those two play anyway.
Yeah, nice. Hey guys, I'll ask you this because we've sort of had 8 rounds, and it'll come down to what you know and probably what the feedback is you've had from some of the players. So to Aaron first, we're at where we're at with COVID-19 version 2 lockdown, and the season stalled. But who's the biggest threat going to the finals from here, do you think?
The biggest threat, I'd probably have to put ourselves in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we just got a good vibe at the club, and we've got a good squad, and our coaching staff and managers also, and I wouldn't look past us.
Awesome. For you, Dave, who's the biggest threat, mate?
Oh, look, everyone's got their threats, and as I said, you can't go past your own team. But just in terms of unknown, we haven't played Point Chev yet. We were supposed to play them last week, and we didn't. Obviously that game got washed out. So in terms of the unknown, what their squad looks like this year, they're probably the biggest threat. Everyone else we've played, and we've got that a taste of what they'll throw at us. But in terms of Point Chev, we don't know what we don't know, so we'll just have to focus on what we're doing. So we'll be the biggest threat. Right.
Okay. Well, look, I think too, from what you guys said, at the top of the interview, was that old heads have clear thinking, and that is the stall in the season. Dave, is that a good thing or a bad thing for you and the club?
Stopping the season midway is always a hamper. We had a little bit of momentum going in, but I think it's a good time for us to reflect on how we've got to where we're the position we're in, and what we need to do going forward into these finals. So there are pluses and minuses, but in terms of carrying on that momentum, it would have been nice to continue on these last couple rounds. But once we get back into it, I'm thinking it's straight into semi-final football. So we'll have to start fast and hopefully hold on.
Yeah. And same for you, Aaron. Like for some of the older bodies, it's a chance to, get some rehab in and obviously refresh. But is it a stall a positive or a negative?
I look at it a bit of both. I'm probably the only one who's got the older body in our team. I think average age in our team is 19, so it was big. But I'd rather us carry through, but it is what it is. But I'm like Davey with the boys are still. I know they're doing their own training, so we just making sure that we stay ready and and hopefully just go straight top 5 because we're sitting at 5, the 5th spot.
Yeah. Okay, well look,
unlucky the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll make sure to share that with the more boys when we prep this episode out. Well, look, what I'm going to do is we'll talk to round 3, Richmond being hosted at Northcote Tigers, and we'll just talk a little bit around the football. I'm picking you probably would have seen the live stream. You didn't play on the day, Dave?
No, I was. I had to work. I was injured, but so I had to work that morning. And as you know, up at Birkenhead Memorial, the parks are few and far between if you get there a little bit late. So decided to go up and live stream it with my grandparents. So
okay, cool,
I caught the ARL stream.
All right. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, well, look, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to show some highlights. We'll talk to that, and then we'll sort of break it down. Okay.
Highlights package, is it?
Yeah, mate. It won't be too painful, Aaron.
Junior, mate, should have picked me that game. You dropped me.
Match against Auckland Māori. Melissa Murray. Moala, this is nice from Richmond. Setu 2 with a late offload, and this should be the first try, and it will be. It takes 4 to bring him down, and they still don't get him completely down. Kalipo, dummies, goes over, held up initially, but I think he got there. Yeah, we've got trouble on the ground because there was a Northcote player caught up. Elliott looks both ways and...
Okay, we're 15 minutes in at this point. To you, Aaron, what was the look? And I know you've got to cast your mind back a wee bit here, but 15 minutes in, pretty good start against Northcote at the home ground. What was sort of the vibe in the team? Was the senior leadership boys happy with your execution? Was everything going to plan at this point?
Yeah, like their first try, that set play, we set that up well, and Situ on the fullback, X factor with the flick pass, so that was sharp, and Temple going over there from dummy half, that was awesome one. The boys were definitely on high, but they definitely come composed. I don't know if it goes to the halfway, but yeah, the boys get together and on to the next job after that. So 15 minutes in, the confidence would be up.
I suppose 15 minutes in at this point, if you're watching at home with grandparents, Dave, you're probably thinking, hell, they needed me.
I don't know if I could have helped that much in terms of that. That was that 15, that Temple going over from dummy half. That's a bit of a coach killer. That one. We need to work a lot more on our ruck D, especially in the try line, because that's happened to us a few times now. And just learn to wrap the ball up rather than try go legs in that circumstance. But there was a nice set play. Our middles were a bit slow to get out and support, and obviously the markers there, they were a bit slow back as well. So that held up our outside edges, and then Setu had a nice little display of skill there to draw in our wingers and put his man over.
Nice analysation, mate. Okay, we'll go through the rest of this.
It's the try. Great call from Elliott. Afu jumps out and work it through the middle of the park via Tafutu. Gets the offload away to Ingamala. Quick hands. Casey Smithson. The Premier team. Of course, as we mentioned, different sponsors and families on the back of the jerseys. As Edward Cossey breaks through the first one, goes through another one to beat Edward Cossey. Oh, individual brilliance.
Well, I want to talk about that try. I think he was more surprised than the Northcote team, Aaron. But I mean, how did you feel when he saw him carve them up?
On Eddie's try, straight through the middle on Lizzie. I think he was surprised himself when he went through and then put some ball back. But no, he's an awesome player too. He's an awesome lad for us. We're getting some joy out on the left edge, and that's awesome try. Good support on it too. So,
speaking about fuel, fuel for a conversation at half time, I would have thought that 5 minutes to go to the second half, Dave, being a fly on the wall in there with head coach, what do you think the conversation would have been like?
I don't know if it's suitable for TV, the conversation that went on in there. But yeah, that was. I don't know what happened to Jordan. I think he got a poke in the eye or something. So he was late. Late around to marker, and then our A's just were too wide and had quite a poor effort so close to half time. Those are the ones that really sting. So close to half time, we just needed to hold them out and give him credit where credit's due. Eddie, he's a big body. And he's hard to put down. Shouldn't have happened that easily so close to half time.
Oh mate, I think the vibe too on the pack was they were starting to believe they were growing into themselves at this point. They were working hard for each other both inside and out. And their roll forward. I can't remember his name, but their big prop. He was just getting them on such a go forward, and our middles were really struggling there for a bit. So yeah, the confidence wasn't too high at that point. No, right, I'll play it out.
Rice is the first receiver. Goes backdoor to Locke. Locke to Stone Dunn. Numbers on the right edge here. James Watterson. Northcote are in. Quick play the ball though. Afu jumps out and kicks in behind. Screaming down now is Pilly. And that was messy. Stone Dunn picks it up and now Pierre Pilly. Well, this could be ball here. Northcote comes back in field. 7 score. But will it be played on? Yes, it will. What a try, Northcote Tigers.
So just on that note, I suppose, looking at the scoreboard at this point, they certainly came out in the second half. So obviously, there's been a bit of a conversational G up, and, the boys sort of switched on gear. Can you remember what the vibe was going into the, I suppose, the team chat at this point, Aaron?
No, I wasn't actually on the field. Thank you, Junior, for dropping me. No.
You were hanging with Moe and that in the corner, weren't you?
Sausages or
Yeah.
But that first try, we were just a bit tight around our middles, and we didn't really adjust well, so we got caught coming in, and then obviously Maddie came in, and then they got us on the outside. So, and then that second try, Chip with Machu, awesome collect, and awesome Pierre with the support and finish. Good try.
Okay, I'll play it out.
Tigers. Oh. Speaking of, here comes Trent Shonkel.
Good to have him back,
Another
Dave.
good carry finds us.
Oh, hell yes. He's putting all of us on the front foot. He's doing an amazing job for us.
Tiaho now with a little bit of footwork. Goes to Rice, to Monty Cook. Have they got numbers here, Northcote? They fancy their chances and will turn back to the inside. Rice. Xavier Rice pulled down in front of the Sass uprights. This is last play here for Northcote. Kolwaka jumps out. Goes wide. Tuigamala holding it up. Smith. James Watterson. Northcote in the front. Watterson with a scrappy pass. Thrilled in by Tiaho. Trent Shonkel. Last play coming up. To Monty Cook. Comes back in field to Tiaho. Tiaho still going. Machu starting down. It's another one for the Tigers. Lafayette, who's jumped into dummy half. Annandale to Setu 2. Still going here, Setu. Boy, he's hard to bring down.
He's strong, eh?
And he's got the skills.
Little Burrow out of dummy half, and McKinnon's caught the napping.
Obviously, yep, sweet. So, look, I suppose 24-14, definitely a result for the Northcote Tigers to come back in that last 40 minutes, and I want to give a shout out to my brother Nalu because he want to claim one of those tries as he limped his outside man.
Of course he does.
But what were the key learnings from that? This was round 3 for you and the squad at Richmond, Aaron. Because not long after this match, you guys started getting a bit of momentum.
I think the key learnings for us was pretty much to stay up in the defensive line. I don't know what Tigers' game plan was, but it just seems like they're just pushing up both sides and they just chance their hands. So they will just run into space, they'll check off, or they'll run a cutter. But yeah, we will just pretty much just stay flat, stay up until the tackle is made, make sure it's done properly, and then retreat from there. Yeah, that was learning from us.
When did you come back, Dave? Did you come back after this game?
I think it was our next home game, the game after this. So I think we played Howick. Must have been Howick after this match.
Yeah.
And we learnt there that we have to sustain some pressure rather than a lot of those. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Josiah's chips, because that one was brilliant to come off, but other times if we don't get the bounce, it puts us under pressure. We're having to defend again at our 50 instead of a deep kick down into the corner. And I think we learnt that against Howick, that we have to just sustain pressure and not look for the try scoring opportunity if it's not there. Just play eyes up football. Just like that try from Machu through the middle, you love seeing your half to half and then your fullback. You love to see those guys connect up, but they can't do that off the back of no go forward. So our forwards had to really step up. Like you said, Trent, he's been amazing for us doing that, getting forward, creating that go forward to get our backs on the front foot and playing like they do, but our eyes up footy that is hard to defend. Like Aaron said, you just got to stay up with it and hope that they make a mistake.
Well, boys, the speculator So, we're at the end of round football when we went into version 2 lockdown. You guys are in the top 5. You've already talked to that. Hypothetically, and this is where we just throw a dart at the wall, get your insight. Who ends up being in the grand final, boys, and who wins it? I'll go with you first, Dave.
Oh, well, obviously Northcote will be there at the end and winning the Fox. Not too sure how it will work, with the revised setup. But ideally, we'd like to play Mount Albert in the final and win that Zay Wallace Trophy back. That would be a sort of fairy tale finish to the season, but doesn't matter who else is our opposition. Northcote will be there and taking up the trophies.
Good reply, mate. Love the Zay touch. For you, Aaron, you've probably got a different dream, and let's hear about your dream.
Well, obviously Richmond in the final, and I'd like to go up against Northcote.
Okay.
Okay.
Reason being, my son plays for Northcote in the under-8s, under Uncle Eddie, and I live on the shore, so I kick it with the Tigers boys most of the time, so yeah, that'd be a good final for me and get over there.
So what are you doing at Richmond then?
Here we go to get the drop.
Long story, mate. Long story. Couldn't go back on my word. I gave Junior my word, so.
Oh, fair enough.
So, do you actually have that conversation with your son, Aaron?
Yeah. He's over here. Talk.
Bring him in. Let him say hello.
Come in. This is the next Sammy Cook.
What?
Ooh. Nah, you don't want to be Sammy Cook. You want to be better than that.
Hello, young fella. Who you playing for, mate?
He's playing in the 8s for the Tigers.
All right, boys. Well, look, we sort of touched on, games that have happened during the course of the season, who we've come up against, who we've played, and I think we've got some good analysation out of the highlights piece. On behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, I want to thank you both for your time. It's always good to catch up with the players and have a little bit of banter and a wee bit of humour. More importantly, though, desperately want to see you two get back out on the field, and finish the season off. So, once again, on behalf of the ARL, ARL TV, thanks very much, fellas. Stay safe, be kind, and look forward to seeing you back on the park real soon.
Ngā mihi kia kōrua. Thanks for having us, Troy, and always nice to talk to you. Good to see you too, Azza.
Hey, Davey. Thanks, Troy.